Heather Wiskus. Thank you for joining us at Give Me Some Green Apothecary in Matthews Mint Hill, where tonight we have our guest speaker, Ms. Dorothy Sharp, with Valora, speaking about air and water. What is it really and how can it help you? So without further ado, Ms. Dorothy Sharp.
Thank you. I wanted to start this evening and just read you something from the City of Monroe Water Resources. How is my water treated and purified? Water from the lakes receives extensive treatment at John Glenn Water Treatment. First, chemicals are mixed with the raw water to force the small suspended particles to clump together. Water then flows into settling basins where solids are removed. Water is filtered through the basins, and carbon and sand beds to remove any remaining particles. Chlorine and ammonia are added to disinfect the water and to ensure that it is safe to drink when it reaches a customer. Finally, we adjust the pH to reduce corrosion in the pipes of the distribution system and in your home or business. So our drinking water that is coming to us, most of the treatment that is done is actually for the safety of the pipes and not necessarily our health. It's just to ensure that we have something to work with. So tonight we're going to be talking about a few things about the water and the air. I wanted to give you a little introduction to Valora and also why this has been so important to me and why I got into Valora. So the first thing is faith and family. I am passionate about the Valora family that I have. We're very connected. We have, my daughter Caitlin is here with us tonight. She is also in the business, as is my sister and my niece, and they're here. So this is kind of why we do it. Health is a lifestyle, physical, mental, spiritual. One of the things that we've been reading, and I wanted to just sort of set the table with this, this has to do with the average American consumes around 130 pounds of sugar per year, including 53 gallons of soft drinks. That's an astounding number. So what people are drinking has great impact on their health. Healthy lifestyle, it's important because I plan to do a lot of traveling. So my personal perspective, I grew up as a child with asthma. I know what it's like to have an illness that is life-threatening. It's terrifying, both for the person who's having the asthma attack and also the parents that have to deal with that as a child. So that's one of the reasons that the air is so critical, I think, for helping people to understand what is an opportunity. So Valora is really a health sciences and technology company that is really the study, research, and then application of those sciences to help improve health, cure diseases, and to ensure that we understand how humans and animals actually function, because pets are also something that benefit from a lot of the products that we have as well. We're based in Dallas, Texas, with manufacturing in Bristol. So that's just sort of the overview. So basically, this is a statement that one of our regional directors made, and I think this is true across the board. People do not want to be sick. The cost of health is high, but the cost of poor health is even higher. So that's something that we're looking for what we can do about that. So air, water, and nutrition is what we do. So the hidden health benefits of water. So the Cornell Medical Study really took a look at some of the issues of dehydration. 75% of Americans have symptoms of chronic dehydration. I don't even believe they understand or know that they are dehydrated. 37% of Americans the thirst mechanism is so weak it's mistaken for hunger. The dehydration can slow metabolism. It's also the #1 trigger of daytime fatigue, and we will get into that a little bit later. And a drop in hydration can trigger short-term memory, difficulty in thinking, and some of the basic things that people usually attribute to age. I think it's actually dehydration in a lot of cases. So we're kind of passionate about this. Water in its natural state is alive with negative ionic energy, so it's a powerful, potent antioxidant. One of the things that people always say, I love going to the beach, when the waves are crashing on the shore and, I'm walking barefoot in the sand, you get a lot of of that negative ionic energy. Well, it's the same thing with water and air. They both, in nature, lightning, thunder, rainstorms, all of those things, waterfalls, they stir up a lot of things that create this kind of healthy negative ionic energy. So the health benefits of living water, this is one of the things that Valora has. They filter it, they balance the pH, either acidic or alkaline, and then it also is restructured so that it has oxygen reduction potential, which is really, that's the anti-aging part of what the water is. So that's an important thing. It just helps the body to function the way it's designed. And so one of the things that has been interesting, and this is related to that anti-aging property of the water, is that it's much stronger than a lot of foods. So I think we've heard nutritionists and also naturopaths that speak about green tea, berries, vitamin C, all these natural things. And those are all great, especially if you're dealing with health issues that you want to address. But if you look at, say, a vegetable like broccoli, which has a negative 40, that's great. That's why vegetables are so good to help your body deal with a lot of these issues. The water is as high as 5 to 600, negative 5 or 600. So it's like super charged for your body. Just a little bit about why hydration is important and how that works in the body. So in 2003, Dr. Agra and Dr. McKinnon won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the discovery of aquaporins. And what that is, is in the water channels of the body. The water doesn't come in through osmosis, which is that was something that we all learned in high school. It's actually has to do with the positive and negative charge of the cells. So the American diet is mostly acidic, so the cells in the body have a positive charge. When you have negatively charged alkaline water that allows the proper function, you're actually getting an attraction. The water is attracted through the cells of the wall. That's why you're hydrated at the cellular level. That's pretty key, because a lot of people are drinking water thinking that it's healthy for them. Most of the bottled waters that you see are actually acidic. If you test them with a pH tester, they're acidic. And so your body is actually, if you've ever had water where you're drinking and you just feel like you're so dehydrated and you can't get enough, and you're like, but I'm drinking water, this is why. If you're not drinking the right water, this is not going to help you. So the acidic and the alkaline, the pH of your blood has to range between 7.35 and 7.45. If you are not in that range, people that have severe diseases, cancer, they're really battling that acidity. And so in a normal person, if you are eating a lot of, drinking acidic sodas or waters that are acidic in nature, or eating a lot of foods that your body has to compensate for the acidity of the food, it will leach calcium out of your bones and magnesium out of your muscles. And so it's also a reason that, you're fatigued, you're just not, getting what you need for that. So what's in your tap water? One of the things, when we read this from Monroe, there's a lot of things that they do, the municipalities do, to try to treat the water before it gets to you, but it's not really healthy. There's a lot of things that they have to ensure that are not in it: microorganisms, heavy metals, medicines and hormones, chemicals. There's all kinds of things. So if you are using something where you're filtering and purifying the water, you're going to be in better shape than if you're just doing the tap water. So the pH is one of the things that we talked about. We're not going to do the water demo. This is something that we have available that you can see. But neutral water, which is what is piped in through the tap water, this is by law. So they treat it, they chlorinate it. There's things that they take out. There's things that they put in to get it to that neutral quality. The neutral quality is really to ensure that the pipes don't corrode. It's not for health. If you have water that's alkaline, this is logarithmic, so an 8 is 10 times stronger than a 7, a 9 is 100 times stronger than an 8. It goes in reverse the same way. A 6 is 10 times more acidic than a 7, a 5 is 100 times more, a 4 is 1,000 times more. Most of your sodas are going to sit in this range. And to try to compensate for that, you know, with the water, you can take alkaline water, pour it into an acidic drink, and pour and pour and pour and pour, and it doesn't change the acidity when you're working with like a soda. Where, you know, we have that, we can show you what that looks like after we do the demonstration. The ORP, this is really about aging, oxidation. It's like rust on things. It ages things, and so when you're working with you know, things that are acidic and you're not eating properly and a lot of processed foods and just not paying attention to the nutrition and the water part of your diet, this is what happens. You age quickly, and people can see it. The antioxidants are regarded as extremely healthy. You also feel better. So the next few slides is really, I want to talk about some of the things that we've really run across, testimonies and things, and so these are just things to consider. One of the regional directors in a demonstration had an ORP meter which measures the conductivity in the water, and there was a light bulb on the end of it, and he had a glass with aquafina in it, which is a reverse osmosis water, and they tell you right on their website that they do not replace the minerals in the water. The water is basically dead. There's no charge on the conductivity of the water. And so when they put the meter in to test it, nothing happened with the light bulb. So basically it's water that you're drinking. It's not really doing anything for you, and it's slightly acidic. All the aquafinas we've ever tested have been acidic. So when they took the living water, they took an alkaline, restructured living water, put the meter in, the light bulb turned on. And so when you've seen that, it sort of sits in your mind. This is something that, you know, water should really energize you. Your body is electrical, and so when you're putting water in that has that conductivity, that has those extra electrons in it, it helps alleviate a lot of things that, you know, most people think are illnesses. They're actually just being dehydrated. Energy versus fatigue. This is a big one. I had a chiropractor in Charlotte that talked to me about the fact that when she works with patients that are either on pain medication or have had accidents, and there's a lot of pain management that they're going through, and energy fatigue is a problem. What she does is she recommends that they drink the right kind of water. They drink water. And we've tested this out. If you're very, very fatigued and you're feeling kind of like you're just not moving right, if you drink the correct water, you know, water that's going to hydrate you, you will not feel fatigued. It's like a flower coming back. You know, you have something that wilts and you pour the water in. Next thing you know, it's, you know, ready to go. Pain management. This is also something I think that, you know, as the chiropractors work with people that are on a lot of pain medications, or they're taking ibuprofen, which, you know, has to process through the liver, it taxes your body. If you can do something that's very natural with the water for health, it makes all the difference in the world. Digestive health, I think this is key. You know, most people that work in the health industry will tell you that if you've got the gut health correct, that almost everything works well. It's just amazing what it does, and I think that's the biggest thing about the living water that I love, is it just ensures everything's working properly, that there's no, you know, everything moves. So you think this is also tied to that energy. I think when you can think clearly and work, things are a lot more fun. You sleep better. So, I mean, I think it hits all the things that people talk about. I'm in pain, I can't sleep, you know, I have all kinds of problems. Some of the things that are a little bit different than just the drinking is we also clean with the water. We use it to wash the vegetables, clean the meats and stuff, so you can use it acidic or alkaline to get your foods clean before you prepare them. We also clean our floors without chemicals, which I think is, most people don't really understand that water actually has the properties that it can lift things up and out of the, off the floor and off of things that you're cleaning, and you're not putting chemicals back into your environment. So you can also clean laundry. There's a laundry machine that we have that treats the water with the same technology that's used in the air unit, and we don't use chemicals in our laundry. We're not returning it to the environment. It's antibacterial, so it's just kind of an amazing thing. And this is a kind of a story of a woman that we know. This is the laundry. She says, I do a ridiculous amount of laundry every week. The laundry machine is a key thing for her, just to ensure that they get it done. They save money and they're not worried about all of the other things. So I want to talk a little bit about the air. Studies show if you're breathing high particulate air, it hurts your lifespan, it hurts your health. The air you breathe is as important as the surfaces you touch. This was Dr. Troy Sanford. He was at an event here in Aspen. This is related specifically to the active pure technology that we have. It's a very key thing. So the indoor air quality, according to the EPA, we spend 90% of our time indoors, and indoor air pollutants can be up to 100 times what you'll find outside. And one of the things that we've learned recently too is that these energy efficient homes that are all coming in, they actually are creating a more toxic environment because of the way that the systems are designed. So that's something that people, when they're looking at, they think that their home is kind of airtight and clean. It's not. There's a lot of things going on in the air. So if you're not using an air purification unit, your body is the purification unit. So each of us breathes about 3,000 gallons of air every day. And if you're breathing in things that are in the home that are creating problems, mold, mildew, particulates in the air, somebody comes home with the flu and it spreads through the house, it's because they're bringing in things that you're not killing or cleaning or scrubbing in the air. So as much as you can clean surfaces, you also need to clean what's in the air, because that's what you're breathing. So this is an actual petri dish test. This is a kindergarten class in Greenville, South Carolina. We had a teacher that had a class that was always getting sick. She was always getting sick. She took this in, did this test. This is 3 days, and this is what grew. So this is one of the reasons that our kids are always coming home sick from school, is because if one gets it, it runs through the school like an epidemic. And so we are in the classrooms in a city in Alabama, and they're seeing, they've seen amazing results from, ensuring that just because one person grabs something that they bring in or bring home, it's not spreading to the entire group of kids or to the family members. This one, I don't know if you can see this. The air units that they have in restrooms, this is a Dyson. This was posted on Facebook. They took some swabs and put this in a petri dish, and this is what grew. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't have impact. I have some participants tonight that are just, they're laughing and shaking their heads yes in the background. So this is great. So indoor air pollutants, what does the air unit deal with? So dust mites, 42,000 dust mites can live in the 1 ounce of dust. They're primarily in your bed. Eye irritations, allergies, ears, nose, eye, throat infections, asthma attacks, fatigue, depression, bacteria in the cooling systems, your pets, colds, flu, respiratory systems, and mold spores. This is something that is really key. This is a very health it's a health concern for people that are in older homes or places where they're exposed to things, because the quality of the air that you are breathing matters. And if you are really concerned about the health of your family, or your parents, or close friends that are in environments that are creating problems for them, this is a concern. Okay. We're gonna skip through the active pure video. So what do you listen for? How would the air help? Would the water help? Well, some of the things that we listen for, stress, mental clarity, energy, fatigue, digestive health, cancer, diabetes, allergies, asthma, inflammation, chronic pain, pain management, trouble sleeping, weight loss, and weight gain. One of the other things that we've come across recently that's not in this list, but should be, but we've also been seeing a lot of information about the fact that people that have eczema or skin allergies are, they're trying to figure out which detergent to use. And, there are a lot of recommendations out about, use this kind and this might help. And it just kind of occurred to us, why not use no detergent? And so I think just a lot of these health technologies are really critical for people in terms of considering what is it that you can do in your environment, in your home environment, in your office environment, that will really make things healthier for you to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. So who is it that really kind of, just that we're describing? Who are the people that we're looking at? People with a busy lifestyle, people that are overworked or stressed out, small business owners and entrepreneurs. And see overworked and stressed out and add fatigue, because I think most small business owners and entrepreneurs are working long and hard hours. Parents often with multiple children, and those who are athletic, health conscious, or who want to be. And so those are people that really, I think, are looking at how does this really help us to create the kind of environment that is going to be good. And so we talked a little bit, actually I'm going to go back up here. One of the things I wanted to do, this is related to the air, and it's a little experiment. Hopefully you'll be able to see what this is. This is a living proof, and what it's going to do, we're going to give it a minute to fill the thing with smoke. Smoke is the smallest particulate in the air, and so the reason that they have this as the demonstration is that you want to be able to see kind of how the active pure pulls it out of the air. Are we getting smoke on this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to give this a few minutes and then we'll come back to that. Caitlin, if you can let us know when that's ready to go.
Yeah.
So what is the health monitoring? This is something that we really wanted to present to people as an opportunity. We have an FDA cleared galvanic skin response. It's a hand that measures those things in your body. They identify where you're feeling stress, if there are toxins or nutrient deficiencies. It provides a wealth of very specific health information for the individual that it's scanning. It's customized to that person, so your normal range for you is going to be different than someone else. So it's very individualized. And what we've been able to see is people have the opportunity to address those things that they have a sense about, but they don't really know. They're not really sure, why they don't quite, get the result that they want because of what they're doing. And so all of these wellness scans give you kind of it's like taking a health questionnaire. You go in to see your doctor and they usually ask you a lot of questions, and you answer as best you can, but it doesn't necessarily give you a really clear map about the specifics of what's going on. And so this sort of eliminates all of that sort of broad generalization and really hones in on the very specific things that may be impacting your homeostasis, or the balance of what you feel, where you function best. And so those are something, that we're doing tonight. Those are complimentary tonight. And what it does is this is just a quick thing of what it looks at. The 4 core body systems for wellness: the detox, the gastrointestinal, the hormonal, or the immune system. Caitlin, can you hand me the water, please? Thank you.
Speaking of water.
Speaking of water, this is my water, go everywhere with it, so.
Your smoke is ready.
Mm.
Or a
Perfect.
non-smoking facility.
Or a non-smoking facility, that's why it's contained in this sealed container, so. This is the Active Pure, excuse me. So what this does is the needle point ionization. I'm gonna turn it on, and you're gonna see how quickly it drops out of the air. This is what it's doing to the particulates that are in the air. Okay, that's pretty fast. So one of the things that they did with this, they took it into a hospital operating room, excuse me, and they found that over 24 hours, they had measured, this was a clean operating room, Streptococcus, MRSA, E. coli, it killed 99%. They won't let you say 100%, but basically they couldn't find it in the test. It's one of the things in the proof book that we have. This is something that when they had done this, that is one of the things I think it needs to be in every medical office and every school system in the country. And that's it. I want to thank you, and this is where if you want to get more information about some of the things that we have, and if you would like to get a scan tonight, we're happy to do that for you. That's our gift to you for coming tonight. So, all right.